What's going on, everyone? Welcome back. Today we've got another live fantasy football mock draft for you back on FantasyPros, where we will be doing a 12-team full PPR mock, and we will be selecting from the last overall position, 12th overall. So it should be pretty interesting. I always like doing these extremes with the roster: one quarterback, two running backs, two wide receivers, a tight end, a flex, and then 5 bench spots. But that's pretty much it. So let's get into this thing. And while we wait, a quick reminder: if you enjoy, hit that like button, subscribe, give us a follow on Twitter at AllDayPigskin to continue interacting with us there. And make sure to get yourself a copy of the 2022 ADP Fantasy Football Draft Guide. Everything you can want at a great value. Top 150 overall player rankings in standard and PPR formats, individual player bios, tiers, projections, along with general fantasy advice. Details in the description. But with that being said, let's get into it. We are on the clock. The first 12 picks have been made. Let's quickly break it down to see if anything crazy happened. So there was a huge running back run. I like to see that. Usually, to me, that's pretty accurate in terms of what I would do. But, kind of dissecting it, we see McCaffrey, Jonathan Taylor, Austin Eckler, Derrick Henry, Najee Harris. Zero issues there. I'd have Dalvin Cook a little bit higher. He goes at the 108. Leonard Fournette at the 106, too rich for my blood. I don't think he's going to duplicate the success he had last season. DeAndre Swift at the 107. I like to see Swift getting some love. Then again, Dalvin Cook at the 108 and Joe Mixon at the 109. And now we had our 2 first wide receivers off the board in Cooper Kupp and Justin Jefferson at 110 and at 111. And now we are on the clock at the 112 pick, and then obviously we will have 201 as well. Now here, we could go a lot of different ways. I think there's still a lot of talent available. There's Alvin Kamara, there's Aaron Jones. Typically, that would probably be my 2 no-brainer selections, 2 RB1s. But there's some tempting wide receivers here: Devontae Adams, Jamar Chase, Stephon Diggs, maybe even a Travis Kelce. And, typically I would go running back heavy here, but, let's switch things up a little bit. Let's go wide receiver. Let's go with a Devontae Adams and maybe like a Stephon Diggs, or even a Devontae Adams and a Travis Kelce to get an elite tight end. So, let's see how that turns out. I want to switch things up a little bit. Again, normally, if this was, my legitimate draft, for my whatever, money league, however many of those you guys do, I'd probably definitely be going running back with one of these 2 selections. But since it's a mock, since, we can see how things play out, let's go Devontae Adams first. I still think he's going to see crazy targets even while with the Raiders. And then let's go Travis Kelce here and get 2 pass catchers and then see what we can do at running back afterwards. So we have a wide receiver 1. We have a tight end 1 who's basically a wide receiver 1 as well, and Travis Kelce. So now obviously we need to pay attention to the running back position. Aaron Jones went after that Travis Kelce selection. Again, that makes all the sense in the world. I would have definitely, probably drafted him with one of those 2 picks. Alvin Kamara was also in consideration. Then Mark Andrews. Again, even though I don't think these tight ends should be drafted this early, I just want to, say that we did this more so for the sake of the exercise. There's just so many great running backs that were available that I would have drafted higher, even wide receivers. But, that's a conversation for another time. Then you see Nick Chubb, way too early for him in PPR formats. Jamar Chase, Stephon Diggs, Kyle Pitts. Stop it, folks. Stop with this Kyle Pitts overdrafting. He has 0 business being drafted in the 2nd round. This quarterback situation for the Falcons is awful. Hell, Kyle Pitts shouldn't even be the 3rd tight end off the board. That should be Darren Waller or George Kittle. So come on now. Then Deebo Samuel. Deebo Samuel, I think he's going to regress this season with Trey Lance potentially being the quarterback for the majority of the year. Javonte Williams, way too early for him. He's in a running back by committee with Melvin Gordon. CeeDee Lamb, and Alvin Kamara at the 211, that's a steal. Like, how in the hell are you going to let Alvin Kamara be drafted after Javonte and Nick Chubb? That makes 0 sense. Then James Conner, and now a huge run on the wide receivers. A.J. Brown, way too early for him in PPR formats. Keenan Allen, Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, Mike Evans, T. Higgins, Deontay Johnson. Then a couple running backs, Cam Akers, Zeke, and Saquon Barkley. Man, I would have loved it if Saquon dropped to us. But no, that's not the case. And then Amari Cooper was the last pick. So here, I'm kind of feeling it at the running back position. So I just got to go and get my next two best available running backs. And to me, that's by far and away David Montgomery being one of those guys. So let's just nab him here. Michael Pittman, definitely very, very tempting. But I know that if I wait at the running back position, it's not a guarantee that the guy that I like here, that is Travis Etienne, will be there for us, basically to what amounts to 20 picks from now. So I'm just going to take him here. I'm taking him here, and I'm not even going to think twice about it. I think he's a huge, breakout potential type of candidate. Yes, we're going to have to do some work at the running back position afterwards to get some more depth. But, I think all things considered, after starting with Devontae Adams and Travis Kelce, we did all right-ish. So let's see what's happened here and if we have to call out anyone for anything egregious. So Terry McLaurin, Michael Pittman, Cortland Sutton, DJ Moore, running those wide receivers, the next 4 picks in the 4th round. Breece Hall, I don't like him going that high on that Jets offense. Allen Robinson, man, I was really secretly hoping that he would fall to us. That wasn't the case. Oh well, I think he's so undervalued. Then Antonio Gibson, Michael Thomas, Brendan Cooks, Josh Allen. Man, wow. Darnell Mooney at the 412. I like Darnell Mooney, but I'd have guys like Rashad Bateman, Mike Williams above him. Chris Godwin is intriguing, but what's going to happen with him? Is he going to be available coming back from his injury right away? We don't know. Then DK Metcalf, I have zero interest in him without Russell Wilson. George Kittle. So you see, we went Travis Kelce at the 201. This is why I say that was early. But again, for the sake of the exercise, I did it anyway. George Kittle is still there in the 5th round. Darren Waller's still here, folks, at the end of the 5th round. So that would have been a great pickup for us if we went a running back instead. Josh Jacobs, then Patrick Mahomes, Chris Godwin, J.K. Dobbins, Juju, Justin Herbert, Mike Williams, Rashad Bateman, Ken Walker. Way too early for Ken Walker, in my opinion. I think Rashad Penny is going to be top running back there, so that makes zero sense. People are a little bit losing their minds with these, just rookie running backs, whatever. So here, I'm going to go pretty easily with one of my first 2 picks. That's wide receiver. I need a second wide receiver just to remind you guys of our roster. Let's click over to it here. We've got Montgomery, Etienne, Devontae Adams, and Travis Kelce. I'm adding Marquise Brown to it. So we've got our second wide receiver here. Do we go with a wide receiver? Do we go with a running back? As far as these running backs, Elijah Mitchell would be the way that I go. But I do think Trey Lance being there is really going to cap his upside. I've got Travis Kelce. Honestly, right now, in my opinion, the best pick here is Darren Waller. Go the double tight end route. But I've already got Devontae Adams. I've already got Travis Kelce. So as tempting as that would be, I don't think that is the intelligent selection here. So basically what that means is, we're down to Elijah Mitchell or probably a quarterback. I know we're more than likely going to miss out on a Lamar Jackson or a Kyler Murray if we, wait. But I think we need to address some more running back depth. The guy highest on my list would be Elijah Mitchell. The 49ers rushing attack is going to be tremendous, but it's the 49ers, so you don't know if there's going to be a running back by committee. You don't know what you can expect in terms of injuries. It's a crazy situation there. I'd probably, if it's not Mitchell, I'd go Jerry Jeudy, but I want to get more depth at the running back position, so I'm just going to go Elijah Mitchell here, and then see all the guys that, were decent value picks probably go off the board, and let's break it down again. I saw a couple names that I was hoping would fall to us. Run on quarterbacks, Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson, makes sense. There goes Darren Waller, tremendous value at the 604. There was a run on tight ends as well. Elijah Moore, then Dalton Schultz. There goes Kyler Murray, TJ Hawkinson, Renfro, Dallas Goedert, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jalen Hurts. Then in the seventh round, Jerry Jeudy, great value, Drake London, A.J. Dillon, Tony Pollard, Tom Brady, Alan Lazard going in the 7th round. Wow. Apparently people have been listening to us because we absolutely love the upside for him. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, then Traylon Burks, Matthew Stafford. I was hoping he falls to us. That doesn't happen. But I think the good news is pretty much every single team has a quarterback, or pretty much everyone but 2 squads and us. Let's look at the cheat sheet to see, what guys are potentially going to get drafted. So I'm just going to target probably Derek Carr here, stack him with Devontae Adams. Looking at wide receivers at this point, looking at running backs, wide receivers, I think Russell Gage is pretty tempting with the, question marks surrounding Chris Godwin. I don't want Lockett. Thielen, Devonta Smith, don't trust Jalen Hurts. DeAndre Hopkins, I've already got Marquise Brown. He's going to be suspended. Gabriel Davis, I think he's kind of overranked. Christian Kirk. So I'm looking at Russell Gage. I'm looking at Brandon Ayuk. Those are my top 2 guys. I'm going to go with Russell Gage with one of these 2 picks. So let's go. I'll probably have to add him here via the cheat sheet. So he'll be one of our selections. Obviously, if Chris Godwin gets the full A-OK with his health, then Russell Gage will be going down rankings. Right now, I'm looking at the quarterbacks left, like Dak Prescott, Russell Wilson, Aaron Rodgers. Russell Wilson's tempting, but I think Derek Carr has tremendous upside, so I'm okay waiting for him. As far as other running backs, Damian Harris, Melvin Gordon, those would be my top 2 guys. Wide receiver, at this point in time, I think we can wait. Actually, Brandon Ayuk is kind of tempting. I think he has pretty good value compared to all those other pass catchers in San Francisco. So let's add that depth there and then kind of roll. Damian Harris would probably be the pick otherwise, but I've already got Monty, Etienne, and Elijah Mitchell. I don't want to get too much of a standard running back here in Damian Harris. So I'm going to go Brandon Ayuk and then see what's left available to us in the next couple of rounds. I imagine we're going to see some quarterbacks go here, but let's wait and see. So what we had looking at the draft board is after a Brandon Ayuk pick, Tyler Lockett, there goes Damian Harris, Gabe Davis, Devonta Smith, there goes Dak Prescott, Melvin Gordon, was hoping he falls to us, doesn't. Cordero Patterson, Christian Kirk, Deshaun Watson. Watson is a whole just absolutely bag of trouble right now. You don't know what's going to happen with him. I probably honestly guessing he doesn't play this season at all. James Cook then, Kareem Hunt, Zach Ertz, good value there. Adam Thielen, Chase Edmonds, Cole Kmet. Hey, people are coming around to Cole Kmet as well. Another guy that we've seen is having breakout potential this year. So there you go. Devin Singletary, Michael Gallup, Rashad Penny, Dawson Knox, Landry, Michael Carter, Robert Tonyan. So now looking at our cheat sheet, going running back, I don't necessarily love any of these guys. I honestly don't. Ramondre Stevenson, Ronald Jones, J.D. McKissick in terms of PPR is okay, kind of tempting, I guess. But yeah, I'm going to be looking elsewhere. Wide receivers at this point in time, I don't mind somebody like let's say, Sky Moore as a potential dart throw. Somebody like let's say, DeAndre Hopkins at this point in time, even though I've got Marquise Brown as a good value pick, because I do think when he returns from a suspension, he is going to be, viable. So that's something to think about as well. But honestly, that's probably what I'm going to do. I'm going to go 2 wide receivers. I'm going to go DeAndre Hopkins. Yes, I've already got Marquise Brown. But at this point in time, I think he's just a very, very good value piece. DeAndre Hopkins, that is. So let's go with him. And then maybe at this point, going a running back, we've only got 3. We've loaded up on wide receivers. I'm looking at guys that could potentially, break out or have a lot of success. But all these guys at this point in time are kind of just, either in committees or a little bit more standard suited. I'd have to go Ramondre Stevenson, I guess. I think he's got the highest upside, but I don't really love the situation, to be frank with you. Yeah, it'd probably be him. And then in the last round, we're going to get somebody like a Derek Carr, a Trey Lance, hell, Russell Wilson's still there. So let's just go Ramondre Stevenson now, and then we're going to wrap this thing up with our final 2 picks in a little bit. So we got Ramondre Stevenson. I'm curious to see if anybody's going to draft the backup quarterback And no backup quarterbacks. Russell Wilson's still on the board. And all right, I mean, if you force my hand, I'll go Russell Wilson, and then just to get cute to land one of our breakout quarterbacks, I'm gonna go with Derek Carr. So I'm gonna go Russell Wilson and Derek Carr. I didn't anticipate that Russell Wilson would still be available, but he is. So let's just land Derek Carr now. I'm curious to see what our grade will be. I think going Travis Kelce first, we might get a decent grade here. So we get a B minus. So breaking it down, what we did here is a little bit of an atypical approach for us. We went pass catchers in the first 2 rounds. We went with Devontae Adams, then Travis Kelce. And then we hit the running back position hard. We went David Montgomery, Travis Etienne. And then we also added Elijah Mitchell. We were lucky to get Marquise Brown, in my opinion. And then afterwards, we just started to get best players available. Russell Wilson shouldn't have been there for us, but I would be perfectly fine having Derek Carr. I like the depth we have there. DeAndre Hopkins was a luxury pick. We've already got Marquise Brown. I'd probably, for the most part, I don't love Elijah Mitchell this year. I think I would agree with the draft grade B minus, but hey, let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Do you agree, disagree, along with any other questions you guys might have, any scenarios? We will do our best to answer them all. If you enjoyed, hit that like button, subscribe. And again, make sure to get yourself a copy of the 2022 ADP Fantasy Football Draft Guide. Everything you can want at a great value. Details in the description. And in the meantime, we'll see you guys in future videos.